Hey everyone, it's me David here. I really just want to explain something very important about putting your bins outside and knowing usually whether it's full or usually if it's so very half full. When you actually are learning about something about rubbish bins, it's very important to always remember about how much is it between a half full bin and a full bin. So even usually if you basically look at it, it's full, but when it's basically not so full as you think it is, yeah, it really is full. So nothing wrong with having a good thing to be putting out the bins every time, but people need to understand, why does a bin always have to have a full, instead of not putting something that really shouldn't go before? Because when you basically look at it, it's basically got a whole lot of few things inside, and sometimes usually when you start to know why it's important to have things usually when it's full, that's why we need to wait every time until we know if we do know if the bin is going to be full or not. So I know sometimes there's a lot of people who have had most experience putting the bins outside because they usually do it when it's full, and I understand it can be quite complicated sometimes when you have had more experience doing a lot of shopping, and everyone has ever had different experiences with putting the bins outside. But what basically I'm trying to say is, I know basically I'm not trying to be rude, or I'm not trying to be mean, or I'm trying to help myself for doing it, but what basically I'm saying is, you have to care what is important when putting the bins outside, because when you basically have good success with putting the bins outside, you have to realize that it's important to understand, why do we do this? Why actually do we do this when we're taught growing up? Because every time we put the bins outside, there's a big success in between anything that we do when we're being taught by our parents or we're being taught by ourselves. So we have to be successful in what do parents do, because imagine how I wasn't being the only person being good at it, then it should have been that easy. And I really agree. I really should not have listened to my dad, even though he was trying to help me, but I just can't help it. I actually really should have been the only one that had been taught, and it's not about somebody else. So I really think my point is to make sure really whatever you can put into the bin, even usually whether it's full or usually whether it's not so full, always check what is it that can be full into the yellow bin and what can be full into the red bin, what only you can put in it. Because I know how there's maybe not a lot of people that don't usually put things as much, but it's very important to check if the bin is full. I know that's what a lot of people do usually when they're growing up, but I really also need to be taught that too, because especially imagine how I wasn't being the only good person of putting the bins out, even usually whether it's just for myself, then maybe I should have been taught too. So it's actually very important to know what's going on.